All right, Schlockmeister fans. Last week I had a request for a couple of Dario Argento movies. One of them was Deep Red, The Hatchet Murders, which I actually do not have a good DVD of it. But I do have it on a couple of compilation DVDs, including this thing called Tales of Terror. So that's where we're going to watch it. Let's check it out. Deep Red, The Hatchet Murders. All right, our movie starts with somebody slashing something. Or somebody. This woman's like a clairvoyant. She's putting on a show.
It's true. Look, they're right here.
Your name is Pietro. Excuse me if I pronounce it badly.
And she freaks out because she detects a bad person in the crowd.
Sending me thoughts. Bursting. Murder thoughts. Going.
Mrs. Ullman.
Later that evening in her apartment, she gets chopped. Presumably by that same person who was in the crowd that she detected. This is her neighbor in the same building. He's a pianist. Our pianist goes in and discovers the body lodged on some glass. Totally dead. Gianna, the
Yes, Captain.
news reporter.
Okay, who told you about this?
I have my own sources. As it happens, the victim was rather famous around here. In fact, I was listening to one of her lectures this very afternoon.
The reporter and the
I'm following up an important lead, and
pianist
don't ask me what it is.
apparently they're going to work together to try to solve the murder.
But listen, don't be angry now. I can go with you, can't I?
Not sure where the cops are.
But listen, we decided to work together, no?
No. I wanted to ask you
The
something.
pianist's gay friend Carlo,
You
drunk.
remember the other night, the night of the murder?
He was outside the apartment.
I said, I thought I'd seen a painting, but a few minutes later it was no longer there. You remember?
Vaguely.
Good luck.
Later on, there's an intruder in the pianist's house, or apartment. And he thinks he might be the next victim.
You gotta help me.
Oh, there is a murder on the inside of the door.
Hello?
Here's a professor that looks like Barry Gibb. He's going to help the pianist.
And when he kills, he must recreate these specific conditions, which will trigger the release of all his pent-up madness.
Somehow it's figured out that whenever this kid's song plays, that triggers the killer. Makes no sense how they figured this out, but I guess it's right. And this woman gets attacked. I believe she's the author of this book that they figure out is somehow involved too. He's not done with her yet. The killer fills up the bathtub with scalding hot water and dunks her in it multiple times. Doesn't drown her though, just scalds her head. Somehow doesn't burn his own hands in the process. She is alive, but only temporarily. She's not got much life left in her. But she's trying to scratch some sort of message on the wall in the steam that was created.
I mean, what do I know?
Barry Gibb goes to this old house that is somehow involved too.
Poor old man.
Actually, this is not an old house.
Who could have done it?
A maniac. Who else? It's always a maniac, and they never catch them.
Where was she found?
In the bathroom.
This is the woman whose face was scalded. Anyway, Barry Gibb figures out that if you turn the hot water on, you might see the message that you tried to scratch on the wall. And he's correct. These guys know so much more than the police do.
You're running out all
I just...
Anyway, our pianist hero discovers this house that was in this old folktale book. This book and this goofy song are apparently what triggers our killer. So he found the house that was the inspiration for the book and is exploring it. And he finds a clue. Behind the plaster of this wall, there's some sort of drawing or something. Yeah, it's some sort of vile drawing. Somehow that's a major clue. I'm not exactly sure how. Back at Barry Gibbs' place, he's trying to stay alive. Yep, here comes a doll. Oh, it's a toy. That can't be a good sign. I think Barry's in trouble. I was right. Here comes a knife, and this BG ain't staying alive. Our hero pianist decides to go back to that house that he was exploring before because he thought he saw something before. He almost falls off the ledge, but he catches himself. Yep, our genius discovers there's a hidden room walled up. So he's going to tear it down. And of course, inside that room, he finds a skeleton. Somebody else finds him too, because he's about to get knocked out.
What happened?
Lucky for him, his reporter friend Gianna happened to be nearby.
And came straight here. I saw a reddish light in one of the windows. So I rushed upstairs and found you lying near the flames. A minute or two.
She pulled him to safety. He discovers the same drawing that was in that house. The kid who did it apparently found the similar drawing at school. Somebody had drawn it like 25 years earlier. Anyway, so he and Gianna go to the school and start looking through old art records, I guess. Looking for that similar drawing. Somehow it's all related to the killer. Anyway, while they get separated, Gianna gets stabbed.
Gianna,
She's not dead, though.
Well,
Suddenly his gay friend Carlos shows up and threatens to kill him for getting too close to the truth.
kill you.
We're led to believe Carlo is the killer at this point.
Sorry, because I like you. But I have to kill you.
But the cops are there, too. Finally, we see some actual investigators. Beyond just a pianist. And Carlo runs. Anyway, Carlo flees. And looks like he's going to get away. Then he runs into something on a truck here. The truck hooks him with something, and next thing you know, he's being dragged by the truck. Which literally drags him to his death. But if that's not enough... a car hits his head. Oops. Our pianist feels it couldn't have been Carlo.
That's possible. He was with me when Helga was killed. It couldn't have been him.
He goes back to the first murder victim's apartment and runs into the real killer.
Damn you!
Apparently
I hate you!
it's Carlo's mother.
Carlo had nothing to do with any of this, and you killed him. Go back to the hospital?
Flashback to Carlo's youth. Apparently
You're all good.
she belonged in a mental
I know you're
hospital.
hurt, the doctor said.
No. No.
She's not go- Yep, she's not going. That's how little Carlo got scarred for life. Covered in Daddy's blood. Anyway, she tries to attack the pianist, but somehow her beads or something, her coat gets caught in an elevator. He presses the button, and that's going to be the end of our killer. And the end of our film. Alright. Let's talk about Deep Red, The Hatchet Murders, a Dario Argento movie. Italian giallo film, filmed in Turin, Italy, 1975. Argento actually was the gloved hands. When you see them on the screen, that actually is Argento doing this. So it's very typical of a giallo movie, and so much as, first of all, there's this overall mood and setting that it just has that feel. But what I find comical in these films, and I can't remember what the last one I watched was Strip Nude for Your Killer or another one, or I'm not sure, but it's like the people who are investigating these crimes are not policemen, or they have nothing to do with it. In this case, we have a reporter and a musician, a pianist, who are doing all the figuring out here. And sometimes these clues and stuff don't make sense. Like in this case, we had it was a picture of a stabbing that was in this movie, as well as that song. Now, somebody just told the musician about this song. It really, and why that came up, I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason for it to come up, and how they were able to track down this image on the wall in this abandoned building, and it comes from a book, and the thing is just all over the place. Then there's this girl drawing this picture, and he traces it back to an old drawing that was found in the school from 25 years earlier, and it happens to be his friend Carlo. The whole thing is just ridiculous. None of these movies, at least not this one anyway, they don't make sense. There's no logic behind it. That being said, however, I did find it somewhat entertaining, because some of the gore scenes were decent. No nudity in this movie, but there was some decent gore. And I just kind of like the overall mood, the setting. It just, I don't know, there's something about these films that kind of remind me of my childhood when I used to rent movies all the time and watch them. They didn't always make sense to me at the time either, and this one didn't. But whatever, right? So who cares? So anyway, this is a movie that I think I never had this movie actually taped, but I ended up picking up the pre-recorded VHS tape of it at some point in the late 90s, early 2000s. I don't think in fact, I know, I never watched the movie until today. This was the first. So again, this was recommended that I watch this one. Also recommended was to watch Suspiria, which I'll be watching probably later this week as well. So anyway, you can get Deep Red on a variety of DVDs. They were on a bunch of compilations ones, because I think it may have been in the public domain for a while. The one on this one is not the best copy. In fact, it was taken right from a VHS tape. You could tell because the film rolled a couple of times. But I believe there is a good DVD and Blu-ray of it out there as well. Not sure if Scream Factory put that out, or Anchor Bay, or maybe both. Or actually, I think Arrow may put one out too. And I'm pretty sure Arrow did. But anyway, check it out. It is considered one of Argento's classic films, and it is pretty entertaining. So despite the just suspend logic for a while, and you'll enjoy it. So check it out. Deep Red Hatchet Murders, The Hatchet Murders. Let me know what you think about it, and leave some comments down below. We'll talk about it. Bye.